Video number 2, my camera just accidentally shut off on the 1965 Pontiac 2+2 421 car. Jason Phillips from Appraise. I'm on a pre-purchase inspection and I just pushed the wrong button before we get out. We're trying to beat the rain. Here's some of the original books and paperwork, reproduction window sticker on this vehicle. This can be paused to get a good view of it. $4,619. Original registrations from California dating back to the early day. We got an original book. We got a protective plate in the back of this book. We're speeding up so we can beat the rain. It's starting to sprinkle a little bit here. I left some of the magnets placed in some of the crucial areas to show the onlooker who's considering purchasing this vehicle that the body has good magnetic adhesion in all the lower areas. Car's a complete repaint to blue metallic. It was originally a white car. And the body's what I call period straight. There's a little bit of waviness in the clear coat that could have been blocked out another time or two, I would suspect. But if you take a look, I'm probably 2 feet away from the vehicle, and you can see pretty good reflective quality. The color sanding was decent. Down low, a little less effort applied beneath the moldings. There's a few small paint flaws and some drips pointed out that are easier to point out in the exploded view. Here, let's do this. Some of the notes I've taken on the car during the inspection. If you need pre-purchase inspection work, 800-301-3886, Jason Phillips from Appraise. So this looks like a lot of writing on the vehicle, and I guess it's a handful, but generally speaking, the car has some good reflective quality. It'd make a great local car show cruiser. Again, there's a reflective quality on this side and a quick shot at the magnetic adhesion on this side. I left magnets just in the crucial areas. I did magnet test the whole body. Didn't find any major issues to contend with. 01C build, 3rd week in January. BC is Southgate, California production. 421 California dress up, included chrome valve covers, chrome air cleaner lid, and this is a YH code block. That's a 421 338 horse, I think is the category 10 and 3/4 compression. That's hooked up to an automatic hydromatic transmission. Oil was checked. It was reported to have break-in oil in it. Needs to be changed out. Has 1,000 miles on it per the seller. Transmission fluid checked. And tranny fluid's a little bit brown and pinkish brown. Could stand to be changed. Inner fender wells and core support. Core support was repainted in kind of a gloss black. And a little touch-up work done there. Inner fender aprons are kind of worn out and toasty. Exhaust manifolds and exhaust ports on the engine paint show some heat burn off. Plugs are looking fairly old. Suspension was rebuilt, mostly upper and lower rather. This is obviously not correct. 4-barrel stock setup, tag still on it, 3.8, 9.8 SAM, BM4 with the correct Carter preheater choke assembly still plumbed in. Factory air conditioned car, but it needs some service components changed per the owner. So it's not blowing cold, but everything seems complete. Antifreeze is up to snuff, looks pretty green, and no obvious damage or collision was seen up here up top. The pad was changed under the hood. Let's get under it. Funny, my clock just stopped on 4:21. Isn't that cool? Original splash pans, the quarter panel returns there. You can see original drain plugs, a little bit of surface rust. None of that's been changed or altered. Frame rails look good in the back. No evidence of a diamond or collision push forward there. That being said, both areas, left and right, have a tear at that die hole, which is right behind the tire. Gas tank looks good. I don't smell any fuel down here. Chrome tips on the dual Flowmaster exhaust setup, 10 bolt there with some active seepage happening. Does not look like it's been rebuilt. Backs of the drums not restored. Air shocks added to help those coil springs out. Those are probably original. That's not good. There you go. That's better lighting. Same condition applies here and again on that frame rail tear right there. I'm suspecting somebody might have chained something down, because if you look this way, if I quit shaking, you'll see that it doesn't appear that there's any compression from the back end. These body bushings are original up there. A little bit of pancaking going on. See if I can get a better angle on there, but this tail panel support does not look pushed in. Little smudge there in the, where's my finger at? There it is in the gas tank. Probably backed over something. Some cracks in the reverse light lenses. Bumpers are original. There's a little bit of patina and pitting. A little bit of rust in the surface on this. But they still fit the body real nice. They're not banged up or misshapen in any abusive way. Tail panel trim has a typical look and age of an aged piece. And the tail light lenses are in good shape. A little bit of pitting on the bezels. As far as the trim goes, some of it was pulled during the repaint, some not. Rear window trim was not pulled, belt moldings were not pulled. All the rubber is fairly aged on the car. Some cracks in the vent window rubbers and some pitting on the vent window frames. Power windows go up and down as they should. The regulators do not feel rebuilt. And that's an original windshield. The date code's on the other corner. Got a wiper scratch. Perhaps a few little stone splash marks, but nothing super evident. I don't know, reason to change it. As far as the door handles go, you can see the patina. See if I can get that to focus in better. There we go. Little patina, as they say on the door frame and the mirror. There was a mirror added to the other side. That option was not available on this car in the 65. 421 emblems have been changed. But according to the body code and the engine code rather, it's a Catalina, and it was a YH 421 coded motor. Side of the car is reasonably straight, period straight I'll call it. Just a little bit of waviness noted in the clear, and a little lack of color sanding done on the reflective quality of the bottom underneath that molding. Not quite as shiny, and not quite as reflective as the upper part of the car. Door jambs, not a lot of time put into the door jambs, but they're presentable. Front bumper has about the same nice fitment for an original unit. It's not whopped out of shape at all. There's no broken components in the grille. Some leftover wax remnant to be noted. A little bit of patina on the headlight bezels. So bumper fits good. A little bit of surface rust developing in the corners on both sides. A little bit of age in the marker trim, or the turn signal lights. Okay, hood pad changed. AC disconnected. Distributor upgraded with the P-Tronics or similar. Still got the original single master cylinder setup that personally I would change for safety reasons. All original wiring, aftermarket battery. I think we covered the engine components good. So let's look underneath it from the side perspective. A little bit of overspray on the frame, and this is just the original coating that was on the got some overspray on it. It's peeling a little bit, but not a frame I would say has decay or deterioration. Some surface rust. Pinch welds are in really nice shape. They're not swollen either side of the car. Duplicate side to side. Floor pans are nice and stout and stable. Good evidence of it being a California underbody. There's a period hydromatic transmission. That's a 3-speed. It's got the pan like a 400 because it's a 400. Flowmaster exhaust, non-boxed lower control arms, and I was over there doing examination. That side of the floor is identical to this side of the floor. Nothing really to be too concerned about. Up here, saw a little bit of seepage on the bottom of the oil pan. I'm not convinced it's coming from the rear main though. I'm not convinced it's not. Could be a valve cover seal leak. Difficult to tell. Do have the car jacked up. Some of this rear suspension, or front suspension, I'm in the front of the car now, it's been rebuilt. In the trunk I noticed an extra sway bar in the box, and for the rear end of the vehicle. So the ball joints look like they got changed on this, and some of the front end suspension components. Back of the drums were painted blue. These are the aluminum drums that came with the awesome 8-lug wheels. Air cleaner's back together. That's what the engine bay looks like when it's all back and assembled. Everything looks very complete. Coming down the body on this side, there's a few sags right here in the clear that are difficult to pick up in photos and or in video. Reflective quality is nice, and a little drip in the metallic right here, and a little drip in the metallic right there. A little dry sanding spot here. This is a dirt driveway, and it's a little dusty out here today, so it's kind of hard. I don't know if all of these things are being picked up on video or not, or if they can be seen on still photos. But even despite the flaws, there's a few fish eyes noted in the paint. It still looks really nice. It's a nice looking cruiser car that you could certainly take to local car shows and cruises, and nobody's going to criticize your pants off. Nothing much different on the way here. There's a sag in the clear right here. Can you see that? But when I step back and I flex, okay, so you can see me. Good reflective quality where it counts. There's about a 4 or 5 inch scratch. I pointed out in the exploded view that's on the other side of the vehicle down there. It's just a little hairline scratch. Might be able to be buffed out a bit. All original glass. I mentioned the power windows go up and down. It's nice. It's got a power window option. Date codes on the other side of the windshield. A wiper mark and maybe a few small stone splash marks, but nothing that's obvious. VinTag and firewall tag are both appropriately mounted. Up underneath the front end of the vehicle, I was unable to get a read of the engine stamping pad here, the paint. Let's see if I can get my camera and my flashlight on it. Let's see, are we aiming in the right direction here? Looking upside down. There we go. So there's our pad right there, and the paint's kind of heavy on it. The sway bar's in the way. I can't really get up there and good access to it. It's not cleanly visible. We do have a block casting number here visible. Uh, 8791 is the end of it. 8791. 877, 8791, or 377. I can't remember which. Let's zoom that up a bit. So anyway, but we did see the YH code on the front of the motor, indicating what I believe to be is a 330 7-horse 421. So some of the suspension has been detailed, a little non-OEM bolt-in ball joints, those have been changed, and lower control bushings showing some decay, deterioration, and wear. That's how come you know it's really never been apart, right? But you don't see any collision damage on those frame rail extensions. Don't see any diamonds heading back into the spring pockets on either side. So I'm going to say that this is not a collision car, not in any great way. Anyway, I'm going to go out there on a limb. And bottom of the car again in real solid original shape, evidence of a Western car, probably true, with 90-some thousand miles on it. While I'm laying down here, tires are in great shape. They're 215 75 14s. And there's a few small dings and depressions and some general wear, a little surface rust on the lugs. But they're in good driver quality condition. The centers have been painted. You know, call those number 3 condition. A little bigger dent in this one. Belt moldings are original, not pulled prior to respray. And the rear window molding left in as well. A lot of the other trim was pulled. Rubber seals could stand to be changed in the car. A little bit of patina on the vent windows. Here's that mirror that was added. The antenna is inside the car. It does fit down snug and tight. Someone went to the trouble to put T3 headlights back in it all the way around. Another shot of the wheels before I peel my magnets off and we go through the interior trunk and then take it on a test drive. And they're all about in the same condition. Maybe these are a little nicer. Original rubber plugs are in the fronts of the wheel tubs, indicating they have not been repaired. That's nice. And like I said, good magnetic adhesion throughout, so it's a nice solid original body. In case I didn't show it earlier, here's a reproduction window sticker. I feel like I showed you this already. Original owner's manual with a protective plate in it, and a horde of original paperwork I went through and took photographs of, but California registrations dating back to the early day, original brochures coming with the car showing original badging and pinstriping on the vehicle, which is kind of cool, locations and such. The trunk seems very solid and sound. This is aftermarket carpet that's been glued in. Not able to peel that back. There's an extra 8-lug drum and slash bearing assembly. Spare setup is in there, and trunk seal's got a few small tears in it, but the jambs are in good shape. The lip is in good shape. Got the trunk light as it would suggest on the reproduction window sticker, and no evidence of repair work. In the jambs, original overlap seams look nice. And the shape of the tail panel, I may or may not have shown on the video, but it does not look like it took a punch from the back end. And I'm pointing that out only because of the small tears in those die holes. Just a little bit of general patina on those tail lights and this weathered look on the trim. In this box was the rear sway bar that was purchased by the current owner to put on the car. And there's a car cover. That's just the cover for the cover. The door panels look pretty original. Door corners are in really nice shape. You see a little bit of warpage on the bottom of those cardboard liners. Power window switches work. VIN is properly mounted with correct style rosette rivets. The Lucite steering wheel has some cracks going on and some age showing up, but it's pretty cool that it's there. Original bucket seat console setup, factory tack. Seat and seat backs are in nice shape for survivors. The only thing really changed in this car is the carpet, and the package tray has some speakers added to it in the back. We got a little bit of age showing in that headliner, tear up there and some rust spots. And that's a vacuum gauge. I said tack earlier. My apologies. If I lean in here and look, it's actually a factory manifold vacuum gauge. Gauges are nice and clean. Got engine temp and oil pressure built in up there by the speedometer. Air conditioning is factory switches, but it's not working. Vehicle has an added AM/FM CD player, and then the wires hanging out are for a plug-in satellite radio system. This pad is stuck on top of the dash because there's a few cracks over here. California car. So no big tears or rips to report. The driver's seat is still pretty comfortable and the bolster's not really broken down much. Very good Survivor interior. Good driver quality interior, just like the rest of the car. These components are yet to be added. Overflow bottle, and the antenna can go back on easily. Little belt squeal, maybe just give it a little rev. No flunking, no knocking to be noted. Engine mounts may be original, got a little bit of lump to the motor, a little bit of motion, but we'll see what happens when we pull the choke off. You heard that fan noise. Definitely a little bit of fan belt noise. A little bit of oil pooling there in the back. And I can hear that fan just a little bit. I don't think I'm hearing anything else. Engine oil pressure gauge is going all the way up. Temperature is all the way down. Let's hope that works. Gas gauge appears to be working. Clock is in op. And battery meter is showing a charge. Vacuum gauge is working. All right, we're going to take it for a run. Here's the oil rag. We sampled oil and transmission fluid, although you can't see it so much anymore. Brake pedal, please. Off the brake pedal and turn signals, please. Left, how about right? Okay. How about put it in reverse, please? Condensation there. Can you jiggle your reverse lever? Okay, so we got brake lights out, turn signals out, and reverse lights out. And brake lights turns on this side. Let's try the fronts, please. All right, all 4 T3s and step on it. Oh, turn signal, okay. Okay, no turn signal on the right front either. And then bright lights. All right, there we go. High beams, upper beams are working. Okay. A few little moisture bubbles right here and here under the paint. And here's about a 4 or 5 inch scratch I was referring to. It's really thin, but I can feel it with the edge of my fingernail. And one last look at this exploded view. 25237 is let's do it this way, is a 2-door hardtop sport coupe BC, Southgate, California production. California package was the chrome valve covers and air cleaner. 2+2 trim, YH code motor, 338 horse, 10 3/4 to 1 compression, automatic transmissions. Just one transmission. Let's get back here in the sunlight. So there's the various touch-ups and small flaws seen in the car. Feel free to freeze on this so you can get a better description, but at the end of the day it looks pretty good. Quick look at the jam paint again as well. And the jams don't look bad. They just didn't get the level of sanding and detail that they the rest of the car got, which is not unusual. Tilt wheel, that's pretty cool. Wipers are sweeping. Blower motor does appear to be working on all speeds. Buttons. Well, I thought I was going to pause it for a minute. I just heard a little bit of a clunk in the steering when I did a full sweep turn. I don't feel a shift yet. It seems like a normal shift. I don't feel any slippage. Well, there's 60. I'm going to pretend that I just saw a 60-mile-an-hour sign and we are safe and legal. We'll take a peek when we get back to the house and see if there's anything pouring or leaking out of it. Engine temp's getting up there. Turn signals flashing on the inside, but we do not have turn signalage on the outside of the vehicle, right hand side, front or rear. We got reverse lights out, we got horn out, air conditioning's not working, clock's not working, so nothing super unusual to find in an old car. Good looking driver quality repaint on an original Survivor interior with some general wear. Good solid original underbody unrestored and original drivetrain setup. Engine has reportedly been rebuilt. I did not see the receipts on that. I think that was done a while ago. Alright, Jason Phillips from Auto Appraise. I'll do a final walk around the vehicle. Thanks for checking us out today. Pre-purchase inspection done for an out-of-state client. Again, if you need service like this, 800-301-3886. I myself do these kind of inspections by video. Most of my inspectors out there working for us are doing written reports and photographs. This guy's going to get this detailed video along with at least 100-150 photos, underbody and whatnot, up-close contaminations and etc. to give him a better feel of what the car is all about. That's what the whole purpose of the reporting procedure is. Also, the wipers are working, but the squirter button is not. The back one was a little slow coming up, but they all went down with pretty good speed. Console lid springs up and operates as it should. There's an extra fuel filter in there. Glove box lock works. Liner's in good shape. Light appears to be working in there. Pontiac emblem over the glove box only. I think that was a Catalina 2+2 feature in 1965. Don't quote me. You got to check me on those facts. 160-ish degrees on the gauge. We've been running about 15 minutes now. Maybe 16. I did not try the park and brake because that's a bad idea in an old car with an automatic. I did want to show the door pin sag or lack thereof, and it's pretty nice. I mean, it doesn't really seem to be giving us much issue. The doors both close just like that. Door alignment is pretty good. Nothing I would be fretting about if I was looking for a nice number 3 solid driver quality car. Some might argue this is number 4 based on condition of some of the original wear. I would say if you're trying to buy it, you're going to call it a number 4. If you're trying to sell it, you're going to call it a number 3. Who's right? Who knows? Now that we're warmed up, we got a little bit of an exhaust leak probably coming out of the right side manifold. A little bit of patina again up here. A couple little hairline scratches on the glass. Nothing too exciting. A couple back here. One right there through the center. Okay, last look around. hoping I didn't forget anything, trying to keep this video under 30 minutes. I just went over. Darn it. It was not my intention. Very cool car, 1965 Pontiac Catalina 2+2 trim. AutoAppraise.com, 800-301-3886.